Good morning, believers. Good morning, Israel. It's your brother JD Nija. Word of Truth channel. Bible teaching with Jeff Deloach. Jeff Deloach. That's me. Welcome back to the channel. Heavenly Father, bless my brothers and sisters that are here today. Give them peace and grace and wisdom and knowledge. And the ability to know you. We love you, we honor you, we praise you. We bow before you because you're our God and we are your children. Amen. Happy Monday morning. Hope you're all doing well. I've been on the verge of sickness for like days now. Yeah, my chest is full of dust, dirt, phlegm, I don't know, fluids. So if you hear me coughing up a little bit, I'm trying to get that. I'm trying to get whatever's in my breathing to loosen up and come out. Hear that? Sorry. Yuck. All right, so we've been going through Ezekiel. Ezekiel prophesied against, from what I know so far, I mean, I think he prophesied against everyone at the end of the day. He ended up telling everyone, you're screwed, you're screwed, you're screwed. But at the beginning, he mostly was qualifying himself and qualifying God, talking about the firmament and the fact we're not on a globe and we need to know where we're at before we can figure out where we're going. We're not flying through space on a globe. That's what these devils tried to teach us. And it's not true. That's a lie. That's a lie. So chapter 16, we went into it yesterday. I went all the way through it pretty quick. Richard Joyce, my nemesis, he does the channel. If you want to go listen to someone who wants to know God, tries to know God, but he it's not very good at it. So today the worldly thing that he brought up today was the section where it talks about her mother's daughter. And he actually went to a commentary by someone. I don't go to commentaries. I read it and the Lord gives me interpretation. But his commentary had something to do with it's hard for me to even remember the things he says because I don't want it to stick in my head. Her mother's daughter, it talks about how Israel came out of Canaan and we picked up the habits and the ways of the heathen. And he doesn't understand that. He thinks everyone's the same. Christians think Christian pastors think, a lot of them think everyone's the same. They don't understand Israel. Israel, Israel's God's chosen people. Remember, Israel is God's chosen people. So who's Israel? Well, I'm a Benjamite, so I am Israel, but I'm Southern Kingdom. So let me go into this so you can understand. This guy he doesn't really want to know the Bible. He just wants to tell you, my daughters didn't fall far from the tree. They're a lot like me, and I know a guy and his son's just like him, and he brought everything back to the world about worldly shit. My family, and I've seen this, and you ever heard that song? Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man. That song is what it's talking about, because the son was mad at the dad because he didn't spend time. But then when he grew up, he did the same thing. He tries to bring in these cultural references, and he brings the world into Bible teaching in it. As an Israelite, kind of makes me mad, because he's teaching you nothing. He's not teaching you what the Bible actually says. Her mother's daughter. Chapter 16, verse 44. Behold, everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverbs against you. He's talking about Jerusalem. He's talking about my people. Let's go back to the beginning of the chapter. God's covenant with her. Wait, no. Jerusalem is cast out in the field. Jerusalem, like I said 100 times, and that most people are going to deny it till the day they die, until you see, oh, Jerusalem meant Judah, Benjamin. So whenever you see Jerusalem, it means my tribe, my people. Benjamin of Judah, I'm Benjamin of Southern Kingdom, Judah. Benjamin and Levi stayed home. They stayed in Jerusalem. So when you hear Jerusalem, it's a catchphrase for my people. So this whole chapter is talking about my people. God's people. He loves me. He loves my tribe. That's why I'm so good at this. Even though you guys don't think so, because you don't like me, but that's neither here nor there. That's your problem, not my problem. So anyway, I'm glad you're here, you 4 or 5 that listen. Anyway, let's get into it. It says, it's talking about my people. It says, behold, everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverb against you, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. Thou art my mother's daughter, that loatheth her husband and her children, and you art the sister of thy sisters, which loathe their husband and their children. Your mother was a Hittite, and your father was an Amorite. Even though I'm of the tribe of Benjamin, Abraham's family line and Aaron's family line, Moses, Jethro, Moses' wife's dad, Jethro. There wasn't any Israel until Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, because that's when the covenant started. So when we came out of Canaan, when we came out of the wilderness, and we ran into all these giants, all these monsters, right? The monsters, the giants, the Nephis. It's talking about those people. You were born of these same people. We all came out of the line of humans. That's why we all look the same. That's why when you think about it, this is telling you there wasn't any giants. There was no one that was really that different. Maybe way back then there was a little bit of difference. You could tell the difference. You're like, you're not one of us. You're one of those. There was something about the way you looked that was different. Just like today, a Japanese doesn't look like an American, doesn't look like an African, doesn't look like a Chinese, doesn't look like a Russian. We all have doesn't look like a Frenchman even, or an Italian. We all have our own look. If you know what you're looking for. I'm French, so this is what French people usually look like. They have a more, especially a French Jew, prominent nose, smaller eyes, whatever. I don't know, all the makings. Anyway, to the point I'm making is, we all came from being human. So when it talks about your daughter's husband hated God, they hated God. You art thy mother's daughter that loathes her husband. We didn't like God. We mixed with people that didn't like our husband. Our husband is God. He's our daddy. He's our husband. He's our brother. He's the one that rules over us. So that when it says you hated your husband, we're like women that hate our husband. And of all the people that should know this, I should know this because I'm of this type of people. I'm of these chosen people. And God's going, you know what? You were supposed to know better. You knew me better than anyone. So you're more disgusting to... I piss him off more than any of you do. I've always pissed him off more. This is what this section is about. It isn't about, oh yeah, whatever Richard Joyce was saying, his worldly bullshit. He doesn't understand the Bible, so he doesn't understand. Even the guy that he cited in his little commentary or whatever he is. So-and-so, I liked his commentary. He talked about worldly shit that doesn't, it's not what it's not what it is. And your elder sister is Samaria. That's the northern kingdom. Those are the Samaritans. Those are the 10 lost tribes. Your elder sister is Samaria. Why does it say elder sister? I'm teaching you the Bible. And I know no one wants to know the truth about the Bible, because once you know the truth, you can't run anymore. You can't be a stupid ass. You can't be a knucklehead. You've got to figure out where you fit. And you got to ask God, where do I fit in this story? Where am I in this book anyway? The reason why, okay, answer the question. Why does it call the northern kingdom my older sister? And your elder sister is the northern kingdom, Samaria. Why? Because Benjamin was the youngest. Do you understand, Richard Joyce? You fucking dumbass dickhead. See, I can teach you the Bible all day long, but if it doesn't matter, if I don't matter to you, if you don't trust me and I don't matter to you, I'm teaching you what it means to be one of God's people. You have to bear down. You can't just be some little fucking knucklehead bitch like Richard Joyce. He's a right, dude, right. Your elder sister is Samaria, and her daughters that dwell at thy left hand, to the north. To the north. I didn't know this. I looked down, I was like, what's that mean? To the north and to the south. Your elder sister, Samaria, dwells to the north, right? The northern kingdom, right? I know the Bible. I mean, if you want to learn, it's going to take a minute. I can't teach you God in a day. These people, these Christians, these heathens, they like to just come up with something that's going to tickle your ears and make you feel good. You're like, oh, I love being a Christian. No, man. That's not it. Your elder sister Samaria, she and her daughters that dwell at thy left hand to the north, and your younger sister that dwells at thy right hand is Sodom and her daughter to the south. To the right hand is to the south. I didn't know that. I learned something too today. It probably doesn't have a whole lot to do. Let me get this. North is up, right? North, up, north, south, down, down, south, up, north. So north, the Israelites, the Sumerians, they went north. They're like you knucklehead Christians. They're innocent and they're kind of stupid, and they really have a heart for God, but they just don't really know him. So the northern kingdom is a reference to you goofy Christian Gentile believers. To the south is Ethiopia, where all the knowledge is at, where the truth is at, where the hardcore, where people like me are at. Why do you think God's so mad at me, at Benjamin and Judah? We're the ones that did the... Do I need to name off all the abominations of my people? If you know anything about my tribe, we were sexual pervert. For one, we were perverse. For two, we were child sacrificers. We took the ways of God and polluted them really bad. So anyway, I'm gonna get off this. I just wanted you to understand, when you study the Bible, you have to know the people you're talking about. You got to know a little bit about the history. How did that happen? How do we become the family of the Canaanites? Well, Moses and Aaron and those people, they were dealing with Pharaoh. They were dealing, I think, Jethro. I think Moses is, I mean, I could go back there and we could study it. Moses came from a certain line. You know, the Lord said, I'm going to need someone to lead my people. I need someone. He was just born of... Should we go to that in the next video? I mean, it's good to rehash that, but they put him in the river. They put him in the river of life, right? They put him in the river, and he drifted into love. He drifted to a place where someone would love him. Because God said, I love him, you better love him. And they raised him, and he came up under Pharaoh, and he was very powerful, and he had a good family, and he said, you know what? I have no attachment to these heathens. I like these people better. I like the slave people better. I forget why that happened. I don't know. I haven't gone all the way back to that story in a long time. But I know the main theme of it is that when Moses left Pharaoh and went into the wilderness, it was basically God getting his people away from the heathen. You guys are going to have to stay with me for a while. Just stay here. Stay with me. And they wandered around in the tent, right? That's the story. And so as time went on, he's like, okay, how am I going to make this better? Because these guys are fucking knuckleheads. These Israelites are stubborn little bitches. How am I going to make them my people? I'm going to have to make contracts with them. And that's when he made the covenants. With Abraham and then Isaac and then Jacob. And Jacob, he changed his name to Israel. So this is where we're at. This is where we're at in the prophecies. God saying, what happened is after Jesus came, he wrote the story. He wrote the story. After Jesus came and went, all these things were getting written down. People are going, man, that fucking Sennacherib, that guy did this, or David did that. And as we come into it, he wrote the story. And the trick now is to figure out, it's like a puzzle, man. That's why I get so, I crack up how stupid people are. Read the story. Read the story first, and then you can. I can't believe in the giants were big people. I've read the story. Just because it says they were big, there was no. It got translated from spiritually big to physically big because they didn't know how to say spiritually big. That's why it says, and he had a weaver's pole 13 feet long, and his bed was 12 and a half feet, and my God. Anyhow. Yet have you not walked after their ways? Verse 47. This is 44, 45, 46, 47. Her mother's daughter. This is it. This is four verses that talk about who's doing what. Clowns to the north of me, jokers to the south. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. You want to do cultural references? That's how it feels to be me. Because I'm stuck in the middle with God between fucking dirty fuckers that are my people that have gone down. They're going down because they just never woke up. They got slapped around and they're like, fuck this, I'm going to fight back. And they fought back in the world, and now they're the ones running Wall Street. And then the other fuckers that went north are running the Vatican. And people like me are stuck in the middle between knucklehead lying Christians and knucklehead lying people of the money, the world. The sodomites, they'll bend you over in a second. Man, I have the right perspective. I have the right story. I am the fucking story. Anyhow, I'll come back. I'm gonna look at Moses, and then I want to see exactly what it says about how he was put in the river and who his parents were and all that, because forget. Anyway, if you want to learn the Bible, Oh my days. If you want to learn the Bible, subscribe. I break it down the right way. Better than most, for sure. I love you guys. Have a good day. I'll be back. I'm gonna study a little bit and find out about Moses. Subscribe, or at least you 5, keep listening. You'll learn as time goes on. If you trust me, the Lord's gonna reward you. Believe me. He's gonna do some wonderful things in your life. That's why you stay here. JD Nye, your word of truth. I'm out.